A report into the fire and sinking of the car transporter, the Felicity Ace, has been shared with me and has attributed the fire to the lithium-ion battery of a Porsche Taycan EV that formed part of the cargo. For anyone familiar with the problems that EV batteries can cause, the fact that the fire got out of hand so rapidly and could not be contained by the fire suppression systems was a clear indication of at least some involvement of such a battery. This kind of fire, being self-sustaining and pretty much immune to most regular fire suppression systems, is catastrophic on a ship such as this. However, the report manages to raise more questions than it answers, and as we'll see, there are a couple of key facts which have been missing from the story so far, all very odd. Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer, now Sydney-based YouTuber. If you'd like to support this channel and display your anti-EV credentials to your Tesla-owning neighbours at the same time, why not buy some awesome MGUY merchandise, like this mug, this baseball cap, or this t-shirt. Each high-quality item sports the MGUY No EV sign, and they're all made to order, perfect for irritating the hell out of your local EV zealots. Visit store.mguy.tv or click the link in the description to check out the full range of products. And of course, you can always just buy me a coffee. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. So I should preface this video by saying that despite extensive research, I have been unable to verify whether this document is genuine. It appears it may be so at first sight, although I do have a number of concerns with it, such as its overall cursory treatment of the subject matter, numerous spelling mistakes, and the lack of a publication date, as far as I could see at least, which is highly unusual for a report of this nature. And I've not been able to find any official website where this report has been published, nor have I been able to find any other media outlet that has reported on this publication. Jeff over at Jeff Buys Cars was also sent this document, it seems, and has already put out a video on it. I've added a link to the PDF in the description below, but if anyone is able to confirm its veracity one way or the other, I'd be extremely grateful, and I will publish a correction if necessary. So with that broad caveat in place, the report gives a simple chronology of events as follows. The Felicity Ace sailed in from the port of Emden, Germany, with destination to the port of Davisville, USA, loaded with a total of 3,965 vehicles, of which 574 were electrical vehicles. On the 16th February 2022 at 0830 hours, the smoke detector was automatically, spelling, activated, indicating smoke detected, spelling again, on deck number 1 aft part in way of hold 4. The OOW, officer of the watch, at the time contacted, spelling yet again, the AB, able seaman, who was at the time making a safety round around the vessel. The AB went to the area indicated by the OOW, finding a lot of black smoke and capable to see flames on 3 to 4 vehicles. The AB informed the OOW immediately while picking up fire extinguishers. The fire teams were ready in a very short time, but in view of the conditions prevailing with heavy smoke and poor visibility, the fire team did not enter deck number 1, but instead the decision was made to deploy the vessel's fixed fire system in line with the procedures outlined in the vessel's firefighting manual. Fire teams reported the fire was out of control, hence the captain in overall command ordered the engine room to activate and start the fixed fire system. The fixed fire system failed, allowing the fire to spread, hence captain decided to abandon ship. We'll come back to this in a minute. The ship was abandoned and salvage company approached to boundary cooling on hull and side structures. The fire seemed to spread on all cargo decks. The Felicity Ace finally sunk on 1st March 2022 on the west of the island of Faial on the Azores. The report then details the attempts to deal with the fire, and one issue of note is that, as mentioned in the previous extract, the expanding foam fan on deck 1 where the fire was located and which was supposed to spray foam into that deck, was inoperative. Master instructed first engineer to start the fixed foam system. First engineer reported that foam system was operational, foam liquid was flowing, and he could visually see foam tank level drop, but the fans on deck number 1 were not starting. The first engineer ran up to the accommodation area where the electrical distribution room is to check the fan circuits and breakers, but failed to start the fans. While the first engineer was failing to start the foam fans, the fire team were reporting the fire was out of control, hence the master decided to abandon ship. There's no discussion as to whether this had any effect on the outcome. I think there is at least a possibility that had that foam fan been operating properly, it may have at least given the crew additional time to fight the fire and perhaps prevent it spread further within the ship. The report is ridiculously brief on this issue, which is surprising given how much it may have affected the end result. It is unknown why the foam fan failed, typo, to start, but since the electrical motor was fitted at the deck level near the fire, it is likely it failed due to damage to electrical cables from flames or heat. Well, given the vessel is at the bottom of the Atlantic, the only evidence we have to go on of the cause of the fire is the crew's eyewitness accounts, but there's no reason to doubt them at this stage. The Porsche, they can't even spell Porsche correctly, Taycan, where, according to the evidence of the crew, the fire started is an electrical vehicle using large batteries of 800 volts, which is higher than other usual electrical vehicles. The report is also contradictory as to whether the fire suppression system installed was capable of dealing with electric vehicle battery fires or not. On the one hand, we have this in the conclusion: car carriers are currently not prepared for extinguishing fires on electrical hybrid vehicles, since shipping of such vehicles is relatively new and currently growing. There was no specific equipment nor procedures for fire extinguishing on electrical hybrid vehicles on car carriers. And yet, at the end of the conclusion, we have this: the fixed high expansion foam system installed is considered to be effective on electrical vehicles. Well, which is it? Either the system was effective on EVs, or car carriers are not prepared for extinguishing them. And the human error analysis is almost comically brief, which again raises my suspicions as to the authenticity of this document. Some of the possible contributing human error factors are listed below: lack of risk assessment, lack of confidence, lack of training. Yep, that's it, folks. Hardly a detailed analysis, is it? The author was clearly keen to get off down the pub at the end of the day. I know the feeling. As I said, you can read the whole thing at the link in the description, and if you're able to provide any more context, please do so in the comments. But as I said, this report raises more questions than it answers. Yes, it seems to confirm that a Porsche Taycan was the source of the fire, according to eyewitness reports of the crew at least, but also raises the possibility that part of the fire suppression system was actually inoperative on the deck where the fire started. It also seems to indicate that the system was effective on electric vehicles, but then again, it doesn't. Given there is a lawsuit currently underway against the Volkswagen Group, I'd hope we'll eventually get a better analysis of the events than this. Thanks very much for watching, really hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any tips or stories, go there. If you'd like to watch another video, go there. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, go there. And please subscribe to the channel.